Hey guys, we're back. You know what it is, Lifestyle Dropbox Podcast. We are here today to talk about mental health and the lifestyle and how it connects together. But before we get to it, you know where to find me. Right here, Lifestyle Dropbox, all the credentials. I'm not going to repeat them every episode, but you know how it goes, all right? And also, back again, co-host Bruce. He's been wonderful, all right? So he's gonna also be here to shed some light on this deep topic as well. We're gonna hit some key points. And before we start, I would like to mention that this is just an episode through our experiences. We're not therapists, we're not doctors, we're not here to give you any advice or anything like that. We're not telling you we cannot tell you what to do legally, okay? So we're not even gonna step into that. But it's just to share some, some information and some stories because nobody's alone and, we all go through things. And again, this is not about the fantasies of the lifestyle. We really wanna get down to the nitty gritty and keep the podcast as informative as possible.
Yep.
All right. So what's up, Bruce?
Hey, I'm good. Glad to be back yet again.
Yes, I'm glad to have you back.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to kind of jump right into it, okay?
Okay.
I got a few key points that I want to go ahead and tackle, and we'll go ahead and elaborate on those topics, okay? So the first thing is, one thing I would like to mention is when I first got into the lifestyle, I didn't really have security, right?
Okay.
And I'm mentioning this because it kind of set the foundation of why I sparked this topic to begin with, all right? So there was a situation where I had a great friend of mine who became a security guard, right?
All right.
And he was not in the lifestyle, he was vanilla.
Okay.
So he really the objective was just to come and protect me, make sure his friend is good, big dude, intimidating the whole nine. The first thing, one of the most important things that he mentioned to me was, hey, Taz, I've never seen and heard you complain so much in my life.
Oh, wow.
And that right there really sparked something in me because I am not a complainer at all. I like to go with the flow. I like to be a problem solver, whatever there's a resolution to, I don't like to clash, right?
Yeah.
So I took this role on, obviously, for my own safe space, for other people's safe space. And it's not easy, you know what I mean? And again, I mentioned it is my full-time job. It is something that most people are not doing. They have their 9 to 5 and then they have the lifestyle events or whatever they do as a, side hustle. But that's one thing that really sparked my attention because I realized that the lifestyle was beginning to take a toll on me.
Yeah.
And I was reacting in ways that I normally wouldn't react. My attitude was a little bit different.
Yeah.
You deal with a lot of spirits that come in the door as well, which me and you are big on spirituality and things like that, big on energy. And I didn't recognize that I was consuming so much of not necessarily negative energy, but you definitely can feel the spirits that come through, and it does kind of pick away at you, or just the process of hosting and dealing with different people and different other people's mentals, you know what I mean? Just everything combined. I didn't realize that I was being so vocal about the things that I was going through, right?
Other than maybe one of the things that may have affected it is that the lifestyle that's our safe space. The one thing about the lifestyle is that's where you can come and be yourself.
Right.
If you're a goofy person that likes to crack jokes and goof around, you can come here. There's a tribe for you here.
Right.
If you're the type that likes to play and be sexually free, there's a tribe for you here. If you come here because you have insecurities about your body, if you have insecurities about your personality, this is the place where you can come and vibe. But when you're doing that, you lower your guard.
Yes.
And when you lower your guard, you allow other people and other people's energy in. So you have to be, that's why I always tell people, be very careful with who you interact with.
Yes.
Because they can affect you energetically. Because now you're in your safe space, and then you have those that are predators that see that you're in your safe space, or they see your vulnerabilities or your insecurities, and they use them against you. So I'm pretty sure we're going to dig into all of that on this show.
But you definitely use the word that, we're looking for is vulnerability.
Yeah.
And in order to be free, you do have to be vulnerable in some way, shape, or form. So I'm glad you mentioned those points. That's very, very important. Okay, so that's how we started. Okay. So the next one is going to be how people purge in the lifestyle, how they're using the lifestyle as a form of like a scapegoat. Most people drink, most people, may do drugs or whatever else, but some people use sex, as a form of escaping. So what do you think about that?
I'm in a lifestyle, so of course I'm in favor of it.
Right.
but
in a more mental health kind of way, meaning, hey, you really are going through something. Is it really conducive? Is it really healthy to go ahead and sexually purge? And don't get me wrong, the serotonin does get released. Your body does feel good. But we all know sex does not solve your problems.
No, you have to treat it the way that you treat a drug or anything else. Everything in life is about balance. So when you first come into the lifestyle, you're going to be completely out of balance. You're going to want to go to every party. You're going to want to play every time. You're going to want to drink every time. Or if you smoke or do drugs or what have you, you're going to want to do it because you have a lot of it around you.
So would you say the lifestyle can become addictive?
Oh, 1,000%.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So speaking of, partying all the time and getting into the lifestyle, because that's usually the experience that a lot of people want until real life starts to kick in, until you start meeting real people and understand that these are the same people that you're aggravated at your job, is the same people that you're aggravated with in the lifestyle. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that leads me to talk about, let's tackle couples. First and foremost. Couples is a big issue because there's a lot of things that they deal with inside of the lifestyle. Jealousy, a lot of envy, third parties. Maybe they're not comfortable. Maybe they had the idea of a poly, a threesome, or just going to a swinger party in general where they think they're going to let loose and have fun. And then next thing you know, it's like, it sparks that, what we call insecurity. You know what I mean? Or again, insecurity of, hey, I might let you play, but it might not be the same, vice versa. Or I want to put rules and boundaries on you, but I want to be free. So that also can take a toll on mental health. Insecurities is a big thing when it comes, because part of you, you don't really want to feel like that. You really want to work out the kinks. In the back of your mind, you think you got it, but you really don't until you're, faced with that experience.
I think that part of the reason that we have that issue is that people aren't having these conversations. So you have those that are couples and they're going to events to either make their partner happy, or they go to an event and it may be something that they just don't like anymore. And it's okay to admit that you're no longer into a certain part of the lifestyle or the lifestyle in general. It's okay to admit, you know what, I don't want to share my partner. Yeah. That's okay. It may have been the type of thing that was okay before, but then, jealousies may kick in, insecurities may kick in, because I can only speak as a guy. If you sitting there, you bring your lady to an event and somebody gives it to your lady in a way that you either can't or have not, I don't care who you are, it's going to kick something in.
I agree.
Either insecurity, competitiveness is going to kick something in. So if you don't deal with that, it's going to affect you. It's going to make you jealous. Yeah. It's going to make you bitter. Now you're going to be at the one in the party. You're going to be the one at the parties, hogging everybody up, telling no one that they can touch your lady. Or, let's be fair, or your guy, whoever you go to a party with. It's 2024, so,
And people have lost relationships in the lifestyle because of this. I know a lot of guys, they want to spice it up. Now, don't get me wrong. There are women who bring their men into the lifestyle. It's not just men bringing in women. But again, there's a lot of guys, as you and I both know, they are pressuring their own woman. Like, come on, what did we come here for tonight? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're looking for that, that Bonnie and Clyde type of vibe, not understanding that you have to give people space and time to process. You get what I'm saying? Especially if that person is new to the environment. Although we come into the environment together and I'm like, I feel protected. This is my partner. This is this is we're going to have fun. Yeah. It made the other energies may be preventing you know, someone from playing or whatever else.
Yeah.
How this also connects to mental health. One of the most disturbing things that I see in the lifestyle when it comes to couples, again, not having the conversation in the beginning, not being on the same page.
Yep.
And I've seen a few couples, especially, I thought it was just the men at first, but the verbal abuse is real.
Yeah.
Like, there's no possible way that I'm gonna come into an event with my man and he's calling me the B word left and right. We're not doing that. And then really sit there and take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what happens is, I see a lot of women, they don't stand up for themselves. And they just say, oh, it's okay, this is what we do.
Yeah.
But it's really not what you do, because what happens is they pull me to the side, the women specifically, and they try to have sidebar conversations with me, and then they spill out what's really going on and how they're really feeling, you know? And like we said, we're not therapists. We're not doctors. I'm not able to give you, you know, any sound advice. I just say the same thing. You got to go home, have that conversation, work it out. And if it's really detrimental to your mental health, which is extremely toxic and unhealthy, I would never tell somebody to exit their relationship. But, you know.
And it's weird because I actually know someone that's in that situation. This person that I know, she's in a relationship with her dom, and this guy degrades her. Now, granted, there are some that are degradees. If that's your kink, that's your kink. That's cool. But this guy degrades her as often as possible, and you can tell that it's not just lifestyle degrading. He does it to, in essence, kind of show off. And I've
like a form of control.
Yeah, and I've seen it. I've seen he controls her money. This guy does not work, but he controls her money. He controls every aspect of her. We've actually sat. She pulled me to the side, and we talked one day. And she told me, you know, I'm not really a fan of the degrading. I'm not really a fan of the control, but she is someone who had never experienced love in her life. So you have some that will bring that want or need for love into the lifestyle. And in all honesty, if you're in a DS relationship, you know, dom sub relationship, it can provide those things that you've never had. So, you know, if for example, if you've never had discipline in your life, if you've never had anyone to say no to you, you may be more comfortable with being a submissive. And if you need a stronger dom to lead you, that could replace something that you never had growing up. But if you have someone that doesn't know what they're doing or that has the wrong intentions, it's almost like being raised by a toxic parent.
Yeah. And looking for love in all the wrong places that exist. You got to know yourself. You know, a lot of people go through identity crisis, especially in the lifestyle. For me, the lifestyle changed my life. You know, and I'm not the first person and the only person who said that. For me, sometimes you're caged as a younger individual. And then as you get older and you realize specifically for me, I don't care what people think about me. You know, I don't care if I'm gay, bi, straight, hetero, flexible, asexual. I don't care. At the end of the day, I pay my own bills. You get what I'm saying? Once you got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of, your parents can't control what you do. Your friends can't control what you do. Your happiness solely depends on you. And you have to create that happiness by doing or adding multiple components. And that's another topic to go into when he said when it comes to swinging and having multiple partners. Everybody can't satisfy you, just one person. Sometimes there are people out there in which the majority of us are. We enjoy different flavors, different nationalities, you know, a variety of things. There's a day you might want a small one. There's a day where you might want a big one. There's a day where you might want somebody to just hold conversation, cuddle with you. Same thing with guys. You might want a Slim Jim one day, a BBW the next day, you know, a white one day, an Asian one. It's, you know, it's all about just variety and knowing yourself, you know, and what you want and what you like, you know. But just not to go off topic, the verbal abuse is absolutely real. And it's honestly disgusting, especially when the women know that they don't like it, or the man, don't get me wrong, it's women that come through and when I say they treat their man like a straight bitch. Okay.
In other words, you can say the whole word.
A straight bitch. There we go.
And
I was, and these guys, some, if they're submissive, I like that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the guy that won't tolerate it, and then next thing you know, they having a full-blown relationship argument inside the lifestyle, inside of an event on top of that. And that goes to show that sometimes people can't even distinguish or read the room or the environment. Like, why are you arguing in public?
Yeah. You right.
Why are you calling your woman or your man a bitch in public?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you know you're not, at this point in time, it's like, oh, time to go. Like, this is embarrassing, you know what I'm saying, at this point. You know?
A lot of relationships get exposed in the lifestyle too.
Absolutely.
What I say to people all the time is if you're going to join a lifestyle with your partner, make sure that your relationship is strong. Don't just, the advice that I always give is if you are joining the lifestyle to satisfy your partner, do not join the lifestyle. Do not, because you are going to get your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people that they'll swing and they'll allow their partners to have multiple partners. And then they see it and they're in the corner crying.
Yeah.
Because they can't deal with it, but in their mind they're saying, oh, I'm just doing this to make him or her happy. And by doing that, by making them happy, you're hurting yourself.
Yep. And let's go into, let's do a spinoff on that. That makes me think about one half living their truth and the other half is not.
Yeah.
That's a big, big issue. That's like, that's not the same thing as lifestyle dating vanilla, but it's one person knowing themselves and the other person having an identity crisis. Yeah. And usually the one having an identity crisis, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, they're concerned about their career. Yep. They're concerned about their image and what other people think. You get what I'm saying? Or they're doing something that is, against society rules, you get what I'm saying? But they actually they do it or want to do it behind closed doors, but they gotta keep the ego and the pride, you know, going, or the, you know, the fraudulent representative, you know, if you want to call it that.
That's a lot of the lifestyle though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you are connected for a person who is a free spirit and doesn't care what society thinks, doesn't care about their job, their image, whatever, because at the end of the day, listen, things happen. I mean, it's people at jobs. Those probably be the number one people that be swinging. Your bosses, I'm telling you, I said it. The church folks is in here. The lawyers, the judges, the firemen, the police officers. They're all in here. So don't think that it's just regular old people. Oh, no, it's not. Because those people need the most discretion. As well. You get what I'm saying? And that's another thing. I don't want this podcast to come off as if we're being, you know, snitches and exposing people, but it does need to be said. We're not trying to get anybody to lose their career. We're just letting you know, what actually is in the environment so you don't feel like you're alone. You know what I mean? So you don't feel like you gotta constantly have your guard up. Everybody loves sex in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? And if you don't, you're not a part of the majority, obviously. You know what I mean? You have other things going on, but I can't even say that because like I said, even I've seen virgins come into the party. And I'm like, dang, you want to lose your virginity in the lifestyle? That's tough.
Just the worst place to do it.
That's tough, but you can't blame them. You know what I'm saying? Like, to each his own. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I found that to be very fascinating. They didn't break that, but to be in that environment, you never know, for somebody that might be saving themselves, whether it be for marriage or whatever experience they're looking for a virgin to be in the environment, you know they're curious about something, you know?
But this is the dangerous thing about that is once you pop that cherry, in essence, be careful because it gets addictive. Yes. Because now I want to do this as much as possible. But you have to always remember that not everyone's not how they pretend to be. Right. Even in the lifestyle. So don't do reckless things. Don't, for example, let people that you don't know take pictures of you, especially in compromising positions, because
great advice.
That can lead to other mental health issues, because I know of people personally who came to events and had their pictures or videos sent around to multiple people that do not know them. So now they're out there. So now they're depressed. So now they're going through cyberbullying. So now it's making it worse for them, and the lifestyle destroyed them. So don't forget your common sense when you come to the lifestyle.
Absolutely. And you should be signing NDAs if that's the case, or some type of, not even verbal, a written consent form, because that really does protect you, as an individual. But some people are just loose like that. For me, I hate to say it, you take a photo of me or a video, please circulate that because I'm going viral, and that it's gonna look good too. You understand what I'm saying? But that's just me, you know. I don't want to, you know, make it seem like every person is with that aura, you know, has the same aura. But protecting yourself at its finest, or at least knowing what to do and know your boundaries, as if something does happen, you are able, you know, to protect yourself.
Definitely.
Okay, that's awesome. So I want to get into. We're going to move on to a little bit of storytelling. Okay. But it's going to intertwine with mental health. I want to talk about a few experiences in the lifestyle. And one of the major things, I'm going to give some key points. Drunkenness. Yeah. Definitely all types of paraphernalia. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hoboism is what our good friend would say, which is homelessness. And
which is still funny to me.
Yes. Did I mention depression?
Depression is big.
A lot of manic depression as well. Yeah. And to top off the cake with a cherry, suicidal ideations. Okay. These are the things that we definitely want to just touch base upon. These are the most important things I feel that I would like to, you know, get through with this episode. But again, it can be very, very touchy. And I want to reiterate again, I don't care how many times I say it, we are not therapists, we are not doctors, we cannot give advice. This is just our opinions and from our experience and what we go through. Again, this is discussing the fears, the fetishes, and the fantasies of the lifestyle. And right now we're talking about fears, which is mental health. You get what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and let's tackle people who drink a lot and do a lot of drugs. I personally, I don't drink. I don't excessively drink like that. I may drink socially, and you see me at my parties all the time. It's not often, I don't even, you know, really somebody puts something in the cup, you know, I watch them pour it, all that stuff, and it's just like a swig, a taste, or whatever else. Sometimes we have like house shots just for, you know, to cheer it up or whatever else. But let me tell you, people come in here with gallons of alcohol. They're drunk by the time they come in the door. Now that says a lot to me as a host. You get what I'm saying? Because I know when someone has had their limit, although they say they haven't had their limit. Some people can handle their liquor. And then as they're in the party, it starts to really kick in. And now you see the droopy eyes, the sweaty forehead, might be reeking out your pores, or belligerent, you know, behavior. And that plays a big part. What do you think about being drunk and still trying to function in a lifestyle environment?
Unfortunately, it happens a lot because when people think of the lifestyle, they keep hearing the word party. When you go to a vanilla party, what do they always have? A bar.
Right.
You're always drinking at a vanilla party. So there's a certain amount of discernment, discretion, restraint that you have to have at a lifestyle party that you don't have to have at a vanilla party. So if you can't differentiate between the two, you're going to behave at one party the way that you behave at the other.
Right.
So you have to, first of all, know why, if you're drinking a lot, why are you drinking so much? Or are you running from something? Right. Because if you're running from something, if let's just say you decide, I'm going to stop drinking tomorrow. So now the lifestyle will be your new addiction. Okay, you're going to stop going to the lifestyle. You're going to stop having sex. You're going to stop playing. Okay. So now cigarettes may be your new addiction. Food may be your new addiction. The thing that I always encourage people to do is, I always say to people that the lifestyle can help you mentally with insecurities, with the stresses, but don't be afraid to go out and get mental help.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to go to therapy. I encourage it all the time. I tell people all the time that I go to therapy. And I love therapy. I always encourage people to go to therapy. I always say that you should get a mental health checkup at least once a year.
I agree.
If you do a physical once a year, you should do a mental once a year.
That's great advice, a mental checkup, however you see fit. It doesn't have to be therapy. Sometimes talking to a close friend, family member. For me, I mean, I've been offered therapy plenty of times, but for me, I look at it as you're paid to do this, okay?
Yeah.
You don't give a crap about my life at the end of the day. And that's just me, because you're still collecting a paycheck off of me. You get what I'm saying? And you're trained, although you are trained to help individuals, and this, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, just my opinion, you know, for me, I'd rather go talk to a close friend of mine, you know what I mean? Someone who's I feel is a little bit more genuine. But they say, hey, people sometimes go to therapy because you want to talk to someone that maybe doesn't possibly know everything about you and doesn't judge you and things of that, nature. So again, it could be any way that you choose to kind of relieve yourself, whether it be through sports, whether it be, but we don't encourage it through drinking, through sex, through drugs and things of that nature, because technically you don't need those things to be happy. Those are just kind of perks in life that the poisons that you choose. But a sober mind is where you should really, really find your happiness. And if you could be happy while you're sober, you could just about be happy everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You agree with that?
1,000%.
Yeah. So, speaking of the alcohol, recently I had, a guest come in. Cool, real cool energy, on point, and he came in with the gallon, and I'm like, what's the occasion? What's going on? Some people just drink like that, know?
Yeah.
So, I just passed my CDL test. Now tell me how a CDL and alcohol goes hand in hand. Beats me.
Maybe he was Ubering home.
No, he wasn't, right?
And
that's another thing. Again, I don't like to send my people home like really, really drunk. I've seen people stumble down the stairs, almost trip down the stairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want, not on my watch. You get what I'm saying? We not doing that. I was going to say something like how I normally crack jokes, but I can't do that on camera. I'd be caught a lawsuit. But you know how I feel. Not on my watch. That's how I'm not here. Okay. So right then and there, it just sparked the question mark. Maybe the videographer could put a light bulb or something, because it really got me going. And, they said they wanted to celebrate. It's absolutely nothing wrong with that. They didn't come in, they weren't acting funny the whole nine, but within the hour, you know how that goes. And then it turns into, I want to have a good time. And then start going to the ladies and start pressuring, the ladies, and you want to play. Hey, when you drink alcohol, you get horny. But that don't make other people horny. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what you do, and now you're feeling good and you're vibing. That don't mean everybody else is on that same wave. You know what I mean?
It also makes you impulsive.
Yes.
Let's not forget that alcohol makes you impulsive. And one of the things that you've heard me mention plenty of times on other episodes is that a lot of people also come in with a loaded gun. So they come in, they're on Viagra, they're on honey packs, they're on other sex pills. So now you're horny, intoxicated, and impulsive.
And the women be on the pink pussies too, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And that gets you going too.
Yeah, so now you're taking all of that, and in a space where you're supposed to have control and discretion, you have no control, no inhibitions, no discretion. And now you're in an environment that's sexually charged.
Yes.
So you're in an environment that's not normal.
Right.
So in an environment where your brain has to operate differently, you can't.
Yeah.
Because you're intoxicated.
And this has nothing to do with, separation of gender, because again, this is men and women that do it. You'd be surprised the women come in drunk, can drink a man underneath the table. You get what I'm saying? Get impulsive. Oh, there's a lot of women out there that'll go and grab your stuff without permission. Like you said in a previous episode, we don't want to do that. We don't want to get to the point where we're not in a sober, clear mind and you're making really irrational decisions. You don't want to do that. So at the end of the day, that is kind of pertaining to mental health. There's something like you said that you're not really processing on the inside, or if you have to take it that far, then it's time to step back and do some, mirror self-reflecting, because that right there can lead to other things in the long run.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right.
Agreed.
Let's go on to the paraphernalia, the drugs, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Weed is common. Okay, I used to be a weed smoker myself. I'm glad that I don't do it anymore. That's just my choice. Shrooms is a big thing. Some people have shroom events. I don't personally would never do that because that right there, shrooms are illegal. That's period. And to have everybody in your party on it, I'm just not I'm not beat for that. There's certain things, again, for me, that's a mental issue with the host. You get what I'm saying? To even want to put people in that type of predicament, regardless of whether you have their safety on the line or not. You get what I'm saying? Weed is legal. If you brought in here smoke all day, if we ain't selling or distributing or whatever else, cool. You know what I'm saying? It's still within the safety guidelines. You have to be safe regardless. Shrooms is not safe. Coke is not safe. Whatever else you want to have is not safe. You get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to mention, you want to say something?
Well, I was going to say, it's so weird because especially, I know in a lot of other states in the South, especially, they do Coke a lot more often, which again, makes you impulsive. I just found this out, believe me. I didn't know that like Coke was prominent in the South. Not to say that they don't do it in the North, but they do it a lot more in the South. One of the most prominent things that I've seen here is people that pop E-pills or Molly's. I've seen that a million times. And the thing is, when you're doing that, you're not in control of yourself. You're just trying to get that feeling. You're trying to get that high. You're just trying to touch something or have something touch you. And you may do something that you may regret or may not want to do because you're just chasing that high or you're trying to escape or run away from something. But from that, you can make a poor decision that can put you in a bad place, whether it be being sexually assaulted, which should never happen, but has happened. Which can lead to you possibly catching something. Because if you're behaving recklessly, you may not be wearing a condom. You may not be operating in the safest way. It could lead to pregnancy because again, you're not wearing a condom.
That's true.
You know, and that would be hard. Imagine you at a party, you play 5 or 6 times and you get pregnant.
No, forget that. What about the guys that come in drunk or the women that come in or whatever else? And I have had this experience at least 3 times, and it is one of the most disgusting experiences that I ever had. Any event that you are playing, you get what I'm saying? And say you're drunk, oh, can I take the condom off? Like what? Like what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? We're at a whole swinger event. You don't know who got what or whatever else. You're trusting, you know, yourself, other people's, you know what I'm saying? But even to ask a person like that, it says a lot about here and what you're doing, because at the end of the day, if you do it here, you do it all the time. Don't get you have to be doing that all the time. And I don't believe in, oh, we can't feel anything. You know what I mean? And that's not an excuse. At the end of the day, your health should overpower that thought process, period. If you are not in a consensual situation or relationship or whatever else to a total stranger, that's wild to me.
But you know what it is? So a lot of people commit what I call slow motion suicide. So it's kind of like you know what's happening. You know that your path.
Chasing waterfalls, maybe?
There you go. Well, that's, you know,
don't go chasing waterfalls. How about
that? Some people don't know how to. So they may say, you know, they know that the life that they're leading is going to lead to something bad. And they don't care about that because they may not care about themselves. I have a very good friend of mine who told me that he did not plan to live to 30. That was his thought process. So when he hit 31, he just started, well, actually before he reached 30, he lived so recklessly because he didn't plan to reach 30. So he didn't care about what happens. He didn't care. What am I going to wear a condom for? I won't be here at 30.
Wow.
Why am I going to protect myself? I won't be here at 30. Why would I start out on drinking? I'm not going to be here at 30. And you have some people that have those same mentalities, and they may come into the lifestyle to just say, you know what? I'm going to steal a line from one of my favorite movies. They may be coming to just sell their royal oats. They may be coming to just get a release. They may be coming to.
But do they have something going on? Because a person like that, does that person already have something? You get what I'm saying?
So
hey, I'm not going to live till 30 because I know that I contracted something, and that happens. You have to be very, very careful. I do not condone it. Vocabulary of the day, word of the day, bareback. Bareback means no condom. straight
crazy.
raw.
Yeah.
If you hear that word in the lifestyle, clearly on my description of events, no bareback play, period.
Yeah.
And we did had a discussion before where there is somebody out there, a specific couple who has a hot date. A hot date is a listing for a meetup with somebody or a couple, a group, or whatever else. They have a hot date listed every single day with bareback parties.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, how many people are you doing raw? And that makes me think for somebody who takes their health and their hygiene a lot more serious. I'm like, do they already have something? And there's people out there who have been to jail, what do you call it, attempted murder, because you know that you have something and you're going around spreading around because you want everybody to suffer like you do.
And here's something to think about with the lifestyle. The lifestyle is big and it's small. So there are people that may get banned from one state and don't think that they won't travel. Because I know people in the lifestyle from several states and actually several countries as well. So I know of people that are known for being reckless and their groups and their states banned them. And then the next thing that you know, their name is popping up in another state around people who don't necessarily know them. So now they have a new group of people that they can infect because this group of people don't know. So once that group figures them out, they just go to another state.
Yeah.
And they just keep moving around because let's be honest, you have a lot of people in the lifestyle that have sex addictions.
And what type of mental level are you on to know that you have something and still want to go do what you do?
People are addicts.
And again, there is medication out there. Let's call it Magic Johnson medication.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But it still does not block out the fact that man is married. You get what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he's cheating and everything else. But again, where is the discernment? Where is the responsibility for yourself and others? You get what I'm saying? If you want to do that, it automatically just shows something is going on up here. We don't know what it is, but it's something going on if you want to go ahead and spread the love in that type of way. And it's not love, you know what I'm saying? Spread the hate more than anything in that type of way, you know?
Well, I mean, again, this is the flip side of people of the lifestyle. It gives you a place to be yourself, but it also gives you a place to hide.
Yeah.
And that's the drawback.
Facts.
And you have people, again, I know people that are sex addicts, legitimately. And unfortunately.
Would you consider yourself to be one?
No, not at all.
No?
Just happen to enjoy it.
I don't know why I feel like you're lying to me.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. You know.
I enjoy sex.
Yeah, me too.
There is one time where I said, you know what? The lifestyle is beginning to make me accept that I just might be one. And the reason why I claim that is because I never take my mind off of it. Like, even if just drinking this water bottle, I'm like, ooh, la la, you know what I mean? Like, everything, even when, again, being sad, I need me some. Being happy, I need me some. You know what I'm saying? Like every hour on the hour, like I need me some. You know what I'm saying? I can't even sit and hold a vanilla conversation with somebody. I'm like a dude. This fish is a flash, and I'm like, okay.
Like, let me go take a look at this.
You know what I mean? And even if it's not somebody that I'm attracted to, I'll find a way to be like, you know what, I'm a dom and I do something. Like, I don't find you too attractive, but you know what, I'm a find me a way. You get what I'm saying? And it doesn't necessarily have to be sex. It's just the sexual thoughts, the sexual ideations that you have. And it's like, if you never, ever, ever have a turn off switch, you might as well just call yourself an addict.
Well, I'll tell you why I see it differently. An addict is someone that can't control it.
You think so?
Yeah. Now, it's one thing to enjoy it and like it a lot. It's like people that like alcohol. You can like it all you want, but those that have to wake up at 7 a.m. and pour a drink. A person that has to wake up at 7 a.m. and pour a drink every morning before starting their day, and they cannot miss a day, is different from someone that just says, yeah, I like to drink after work, and if they don't drink, they're fine.
Yeah, I can't miss a day.
Oh, shit.
Like, a lot of people get deprived as well. Now, you know, I'm not going around, groping people and raping people and things of that nature. I don't know if we can use that word, but at the end of the day, people have close thoughts to it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's some things that keep you from doing it. Just like you might want to, you made me so mad, I just want to
Yeah.
But you know what? Jail ain't worth it. It's
Yeah.
always something that may stop you from crossing that line, or some people just might risk it all.
Well, that's the good thing about the lifestyle is that there's a place for you to not have to cross that line because you're around other people that like what you like. And then usually once you get your fill, you're fine.
Right.
And that's the one good thing about the lifestyle is that it gives you the fill if you know what you're doing, if you know how to talk to people. Then you can get your fill. You can bag somebody.
Yeah.
I know that some people may not understand that term, but you can get someone to fill that need for you, and then you can leave and go right back to your life.
Right.
There are those that don't know how to shut that off.
Yeah.
There are those that once they leave this event, they're already thinking about the next one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And they are party hoppers, don't get me wrong. Some people go to one party, the next party, the next party, the next party. I've had people RSVP after the party, say the party in 3, 4 o'clock. I've had, my phone never stops buzzing. 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Party still going?
Yeah.
And I'm like, party been over, dude. Like, but everybody's looking for something. You know what I mean?
I know a guy personally who, he's kind of known for this at parties. He's one of those guys that likes to gangbang. So if it's one woman and she's, let's just say, taking 4 guys, I guarantee you he's going to be one of the 4. And while he's with that one, he's already looking around for another one. He's already scouting the next woman. He's not even paying attention to the one that he's with because he's already looking for the next one.
Right.
That's an addiction. And people like that, they need to get some kind of help because the lifestyle, I think, could be feeding that addiction because everything is good with balance.
I agree.
A lot of people aren't balanced. They're addicted. They come out here and, you know, for example, you have those that are at events every day.
Yeah.
I think that's too much.
Well, I can't say that because when I was with my partner, that's something that we enjoyed. You know what I mean?
Every day, though?
It doesn't matter. Like, instead of going to the club, in which that's something we would do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But why go to the club, sit at the bar, spend all this money at the bar, and then be horny, and then that's it?
Yeah.
When you can literally just BYOB, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have whatever you need, roll up your weed, do whatever you want to do, and go to a sexual environment, be around like-minded people. It all depends what type of scene, you know, and vibe that you're into.
Yeah.
There are people that definitely party every day, but some people may not have the luxury to party financially. You get what I'm saying?
That too. Yeah.
But you work it just like anything else.
Yeah.
You go to a regular club, you get in free before a certain time. You know, you start taking advantage of, you know, certain things and have it work for you. There are people who are financially stable and that's what they choose to spend their extra cash on or whatever else. You know what I mean? So if it's affordable for you and it's something you like to do, hey, just like any other hobby, you go ahead and you pay for that.
Of course.
But every day, but also I could also say that me and my ex-partner, we had great communication when it came, you know, to events. We both were on the same page, you know, when it came to that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if one person didn't want to go, maybe you get a hall pass. A hall pass is when you let your other person go when you're not going, you know, let them go do their thing. And it was never like a miscommunication on that. And there's times where he's like, no, we're not doing nothing tonight. Let's just, you know, just chill. You know, so it's all about the communication.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you.
Yeah. So let's go into, I wanted to share a story before we go to the next topic.
Sure.
So although I said in the beginning that weed is legal, it still doesn't make it any better. You know, in the lifestyle, at parties, we are very friendly with each other.
Yeah.
Before I got into the lifestyle, when I was a former, you know, smoker, I didn't share my blunts with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I would, if I had extra weed, I would roll up one for you and we could smoke and match together. You know what I mean? But in the lifestyle, you know, it's different. It's like rotation. You know what I mean? Ciphers after ciphers after ciphers after ciphers.
Which I never understood. That
I mean, if we fucking, I mean, how you gonna say we go fuck, but we ain't gonna smoke together? Like it kind of goes hand in hand.
I'm gonna tell you why that's funny. Because let's just say me and you do, I might be like, if you pass that to somebody, I don't know them. Oh, they still got cum on their mouth. Oh, you know, just keep the blunt.
Come on, man.
Oh wait, I'm not supposed to say that. We on
No,
YouTube.
that's fine. No, you can say it. I thought it was hilarious.
It's always me. It's always me.
That's facts, though.
It's always me. I mean, because you think about it, you're putting your mouth on somebody in some way, and you passing that blunt, you might get it back and it's wet.
Hell, they might have had something before they even got there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. Again, to each its own, and freaking swing at your own risk. You know what I'm saying? That's how that goes, you know?
You like,
but I wanted to say, I couldn't just knock the shrooms and the e-pills and you know, coke and things like that. I don't do those types of things. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a sober mind now, and you know. But one of my events, I was doing icebreakers in the beginning to get everybody, you know, meshed together. And there was this one guy who was taking super, super long. And he's like, can you just give me a second? I'm rolling my blunts, da da da. And so I go look for him. I'm like, dang, this guy is missing, you know, pretty long. It don't take that long to roll a blunt, or maybe he's just not a roller and don't know what the hell he's doing. Yeah. And then I walk into the room and he's sprinkling. You know, sprinkling on top of, and I know people, you know, do grabber or whatever else is, you know, stuff like that. No, this was a white substance. And come to find out, one day he's like, hey, you know, you got any coke? We don't do that here, and we're not even about to intertwine them. No, hell no. You get what I'm saying? Absolutely not. Because at any point in time, regardless of how much fun we're having or not, parties get shut down all the time. Yeah, they do. People are spiteful all the time. And no, you never know who's in the environment. Somebody might be having a spiteful bad day. Somebody might be a mole. You know, you just never know. So you want to have your environment as secured and safe as possible. And I know this would lead to the question of, well, why didn't you check people at the door? Da 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 da. Yeah. You know what? That's a very legit question. At the time, again, I didn't have my security guard at the desk, and he was a regular. So they already knew I was familiar with them. But again, people expose themselves over time. Yeah, they do. They may not have shown me that the first 2-3 times, but now it's like, yo, I love Taz's parties. You know, the environment is comfortable. Da 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 da. Let me stop saying da 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 da. But you know, the environment is comfortable, and they actually trust the host. Yeah. So it's kind of like a gift and a curse at the same time, but you still got to respect the law. You get what I'm saying? There are other people in the environment that can get caught up. You get what I'm saying? Because you're doing this. So at the end of the day, once I saw him spring, I was like, nah, dude, like it's time to go. It's
so weird because I actually have something to that. I was at an event and there was this woman who I met at the event. She was super cool. We just had a conversation and she kept asking me if I wanted to smoke something for weed. So, you know, I'm fine. No, thank you. And she kept offering it to me, and I said, no, I'm good. Yeah. And so she smoked it, and then she went back in the kitchen, and she rolled up the weed, and then she rolled something else into it, but I couldn't tell what it was. And she kept saying, hey, you know, I have some more of this weed for you. I said, I'm fine. Within 20 minutes, she started hissing like a cat and screaming. Like, literally, she's like, ah! Ah! So I don't know what was in those drugs. Fortunately, I never partook of them. Yeah. But she and I actually got friendly with each other. And when she wasn't on the drugs, we actually sat down and spoke. And she told me that she was abused throughout 90% of her life. She was abused as a child. She was abused as an adult. She was homeless at one point. And she uses the lifestyle so that she doesn't have to think about what she's going through in her life. Okay. But unfortunately, it's not just the sex. It's the sex with her. It's the alcohol with her. And, you know, this is where you have to be careful because you can absorb someone like that. You can absorb their toxic energy. You can absorb their depression. You can absorb their trauma. And, you know, if you see someone that's using drugs that much and then having to play, and this woman, she loves to play, which is great, but she's always, if she's not playing, she's smoking. There's no in between with her. Yeah. So there's no time where she's just sitting around. She's doing one or the other. And that tells me she has some type of mental health issue that she's not getting help with, and she's coming to the lifestyle to run away from it, or to hide from it. So be mindful and use discernment when you're dealing with people. You know, just because someone offers it to you, and that's for men or women, does not mean that you have to take it. Right. And I was just about to go ahead into that. Like I said, although there are multiple ciphers going on in the party,
I'm not saying have a whole bunch of fear. I'm not saying live in fear.
Yeah.
But the right thing to do is watch people roll up. Don't trust people's pre-rolls and things of that nature. People come with containers, Altoid boxes, whatever, have them pre-rolled. You just never know, So if you're not physically seeing someone pour your drink, physically seeing someone roll up your blunt, then that's just a downright no. It doesn't matter how long you known that person, what type of relationship. It's just a downright no for your own safety. And fentanyl is big out there now too. And people, that's an instant death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we don't want to play around with these types of substances. As a host, I recommend, and I have gotten a lot better. Like I said, the most you'll see in my environment is alcohol and weed, and that's it.
Yeah.
And again, people ask me for roll-ups, all types of stuff. Sit there. You see people they're physically rolling up here. There is no pre-rolls, none of that stuff. So at the end of the day, using your discernment is absolutely correct.
1,000%.
This is getting good because you just hit the meat of the episode, the domestic violence, the homelessness, the depression, and we're going to go into the suicide. All right.
Okay.
And this all goes hand in hand. Going to share some experiences with you. Really keep it brief because these can kind of be very, very touchy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So we don't want to necessarily offend anyone. We, again, are only speaking from experience, so it is our opinion, okay? So the domestic violence, absolutely, okay? And I want to jump into how my experience changed in the lifestyle as a host, dealing with specifically, I haven't had any, not necessarily any males yet, but specifically single ladies. Single ladies are suffering from depression at its finest. And I mean, they are being vocal about it. Whenever they have a situation, I'm depressed. I can't take this. I'm manic depressed. I'm bipolar. I'm all these things. And I get it. Like, are you being prescribed anything? What are you doing for these things? Because, being triggered in an environment, a lifestyle environment, and then someone having to absorb your trauma is not good. You know what I mean? There was a situation, and this is really serious. Me and my mom, we are known as like the neighborhood nurturers, or just if somebody needs a place to stay, we don't hesitate to let them in. Somebody's hungry, we don't hesitate to feed them. We're not the type of person to be like, you grown, you know what I'm saying? It's the nurturer in us. By the grace of God, my provider, he has kept us safe, me and my mom. And these people, is nothing wrong with helping others. Just use your discernment. You know when someone is cuckoo. You can feel. Don't push past that, oh my God, something's not right, or I just don't have a good feeling. If you don't have a good feeling, it's not a good feeling. You get what I'm saying? But there are people out there who go through things, who hit rock bottom, who's lost family members, who unfortunately had natural disasters, you know what I mean? Or some idiot outside wants to have a bad day and go off somebody's family, or whatever the situation may be. And don't ever be that person to be like, it will never happen to me, because you need to show some type of humility, because that you're speaking that into existence, and that actually will come to you quicker than what you're saying. Because I know a lot of people, that can't be me, and they need to go get a job if they're homeless, and they need to do this. That could be you. And sometimes it might be you, and you overcame that, but you don't give a testimony. You just think, because I made it out the way, made it to the light, you can make it to the light, but you're not really articulated in a way where it's helping someone. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So I just want to give this one situation. There are a few single ladies in the lifestyle that I have taken into my home outside of the lifestyle. It's something special when somebody you meet someone at an event and you think, okay, done. I'm done for the night. And then next thing you know, your phone is ringing within a couple of days or the next day. And the first thing that is the golden thing is, oh, Taz, you were on my heart. No, I wasn't. No, I
They were looking
wasn't.
at their wallet.
No, I wasn't. I got something that you need.
Yeah.
And then it soon follows with something else. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had this, I'm going to tell you 2 stories, right?
Okay.
The first story is, the first story is one lady came to a party and she played, she had a good time, the whole 9. You would think nothing of it. The next day my phone rings, Taz, you were on my heart. And I'm like, hey girl, you know what's going on, but it's kind of awkward for somebody to reach out to me outside an event.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know that they need something or they want something from you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, for me, I'm a listener. I offer you that safe space in which I should, because I'm a host in a lifestyle. I don't want anybody to feel turned away or feel like they can't, you know, be free to, you know, speak and open up. So I listen. And then it turns into, I'm homeless. I'm staying at a hotel. I got my kid with me, you know, and I'm like,
That's bad.
well, you know, it's never, how can I help? It's never that. I'm not putting myself out there like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's the situation? How do you plan on handling this, that, and other?
Yeah.
You know, I try to give them the space because I know they're going to ask me for a favor.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So I'm like, you know, how are you going to handle the situation? I'm sorry to hear about that. That's unfortunate, da-da-da-da. Well, could you just give me a place to stay for a couple of months? Absolutely not.
Yeah. No.
Can you, then it turns in, hey, can my daughter sleep here?
No.
See? And that's when you start using the children, because Taz loved the kids. And and the kids should not suffer because of parents' bullshit. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not, hey, come on in. Let me open up my doors right away. I also have some questions for you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is the real situation? How are
Yeah.
you making your money? What have you been doing before you came here to me?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They come here, they see I have a nice spot. They see maybe, well, she got 3, 4, 5, 6 beds. I could use one in between the events and things of that nature. No, you can't. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when you start bringing the kids in, that kind of pinches my heart a little bit, because it's not like, oh my God, I feel bad for you. It's like, wow, you're using the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this particular single lady, fast forward, she wanted to use my computer for ChatterBait so she could do webcam stuff and make money
Wow.
and all that stuff. Not knowing I pay for Wi-Fi, I pay for internet, all that stuff. And you're in my personal home, you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
during the day. But if that's how you need to make your money to
Yeah.
kind of help your situation, it's a, you know, it's a catch-22.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
But then it turns into, I'm hungry. You know, can you feed me? Can you feed me and my daughter? Can you do this?
She better learn how to hunt.
And here's what happened. She came out of a domestic situation. She said her face was cracked open by her, you know, ex-boyfriend or whatever else. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But then as time went on, you know, for me, I'll say the single lady, you know, might help me with an event. You know,
Yeah,
or something like that. That's the way I can help you. Maybe single ladies are definitely needed in the lifestyle.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you can help me out, I can help you. But it's not a free, you know, experience or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So she helps me out with a few events that, you know, and then all of a sudden, boom, I have my friend come and start doing security because it starts picking up at the parties. Once she saw the dynamics between me and my friend, in which I have genuine friendships. These are not, you know, fuck buddies, things like that. I have genuine friends who are willing to help me do what I need to do and see me win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she became very jealous and envious of me and my friend. And she became
wow.
very vocal saying, oh my God, I wish I had something like that. I wish I had friends like that. I love the way men treat you, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And I began to explain to her, it's not easy. You know, I didn't just wake up one day and have these friendships. I had to stand my ground. I had to push them away when they wanted to be sexually attracted to me. I had to do a lot. You have to set that boundary as a man or woman if you want to have a genuine friendship. That question comes up all the time. Can men and women be genuine friends? Yes, they can. You have got to exit out of the sexual thoughts and really look at this person without that involved, and it will begin to develop. You be there for each other. You're loyal to each other. Learn how to say no to each other. I don't get my way with my friends. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes I get my feelings hurt, you know, sometimes too. But what happened was, you know, there's rules set in place. security guards are not supposed to play.
Yeah.
And vice versa. They went behind my back and they.
Oh, wow. They played.
Right. But in this particular situation, who do you think you should hear from first?
Security first.
Your friend, right?
Yeah.
It didn't come that way. It came the opposite way around.
Oh, wow.
And I felt some type of way about it. You get what I'm saying? So I went and I checked my friend. Unfortunately, they no longer work for me because they can't be trusted. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I went and I checked my friend. My friend didn't understand the dynamics of the lifestyles and the rules that I had placed upon them. You get what I'm saying? And then they said, well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. We're done with that friendship.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I guess something happened behind the scenes, and then I get a phone call from her. Who do you think you are? You think you're his wife?
Wow,
You don't control anything that he does, And I went off on her because one, you disrespected my home. I took you in. It's kind of like biting the hand that feeds you. You get what I'm saying? Here I am trying to genuinely help you off of your story. I didn't do no research on you. I didn't do nothing. But the more she showed her personality, the more I was like, I see where the domestic issues came in. Because the stories that I was hearing prior, a lot of people will play victim in order to get what they want. You know what I mean? So basically, I nurtured her and opened my doors to her off of a have a story and trusted that what she was saying was true. Because you don't want to take those types of issues, domestic issues, sexual abuse, all types of things, and tweak them into your favor so you can get something else out of somebody else. So she manipulated me.
Yeah.
But that's all fine and well. I'm like, I'm a host. I don't have to deal with these people. I can go.
Yeah.
But once I said, you know what? Y'all good. Do whatever y'all do. Leave me alone. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She didn't like my aura. She didn't like my attitude. She didn't understand why she was being severed. And we end up crossing paths at a local store in the neighborhood. And as soon as I made purchase or whatever I did at the store, she stood outside and she let loose on me, y'all. She started swinging.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about swinging. This is the first physical altercation that I've ever received in the lifestyle. Not because I started it, not because we truly had beef, but because this woman was so jealous about what I had. You get what I'm saying? She didn't like the consequence that I gave her. And the consequence was, let's just go our separate ways. You can have that man. I don't care. You get what I'm saying? Anybody that was severed over, a 15-year friendship is not really a friend to me.
I agree.
And people don't get exposed, right? You can be friends with somebody for a long time, and it takes that right situation to expose them. You get what I'm saying? And I felt like he didn't have any self-control, like you said. And for me, being his friend, he was a guy that got a lot of play, was bagging them all the time. You get what I'm saying? But the lifestyle is different, and you were here for me, here to see me win, here to protect me, and you actually put my life in danger. You get what I'm saying? Because this woman, outside of laying hands, she could have a weapon, she could have anything. And then most importantly, you know how we do, the roles could have changed, and then I could have stepped out of character and caught a case, you know what I'm saying? Ended up in jail or whatever else. I'm not no punk, I'm a G. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm well equipped, with certain things, but I don't go boasting that. You get what I'm saying? The loudest one in the room is the corniest one in the room and the weakest one in the room. And she was like that. And while she was swinging, yeah, bitch, yeah, this, and it was outside. I hate to say it because I know you like your POC. This was outside of a Black-owned business that I actually gave a lot of business to and actually referred her to that business. And they stood outside and they watched her do what she do while I protect myself. And when she was, I'll let you swing on me, I'll let you pound on me, all that stuff, because you better make sure I'm like knocked out, dead and gone or something. Because if I'm still able to move after you're done, we about to get busy. You understand what I'm saying to you? So all I heard was, enough is enough. So they're pulling her off of me. And when I finally get clear vision, I'm on go time. You get what I'm saying? Then it's like, oh, no, don't do that. No, that's not right. Wherever you give it is where you can get it. But it also severed a business rapport with my own people. You get what I'm saying? So it really took a toll on me mentally because as a host, I'm nurturing, I'm giving. I opened up my home to you. I also have children as well. You get what I'm saying? So everything was kind of put on the line for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that bite the hand that feeds you, that started to mess with my mental. You know, so that's a situation that I wanted to share with at least a domestic, you know, situation.
Yeah.
She came out of a domestic situation. She lied about the domestic situation. She created another domestic situation.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, it putting two and two together as a smart lady, you're the aggressor in a lot of your situations.
Yeah.
Some people are doing good things for you and you can't, you're jealous, you're envious, and you don't know how to control your anger, period. And
agreed.
it turns into domestic issues, whether it be with your man. That made me think like this woman violated a man some point in her life. No, unless that man is very, very psychotic and abusive. And I'm talking about to the point where you're getting your face, your bones cracked in your face. Something's got to be happening. You know what I mean? Something's got to be physically happening. But that's not my business. But I tried to help.
Yeah.
That's it. You have anything to say about that?
That in particular, I do know of people that have gone through domestic violence in their lifestyle. Unfortunately, I found out about it after, but I do know of people that were in couples and, you know, one was almost like bullying the other into the lifestyle.
Yeah.
They were bullying them into going to events. They were bullying them into playing. You know, in one of the situations, the woman that I knew, she actually said to me, she prefers to be monogamous. She likes to play, but with her partner. But her partner wants her to play with other people. Her partner wants her to do all of these things. And she is someone who didn't have a father in her life, didn't have a lot of love growing up. So this guy takes advantage of the fact that she never had love and uses it in an aspect to say, well, if you don't do this, you must not really love me. You don't really care about me. And unfortunately, this is why I hate fake doms in the lifestyle, people that were never trained, that never took the time to actually learn it and don't care about the people that are their subs or bottoms. This is why I don't like them, because you can have a major effect. Because if you are a dom, this is just from a BDSM side, someone is literally trusting you with their lives.
Right.
Not just physically, mentally, emotionally. They're trusting you with that, because if you know, one of the things that we often talk about is people that are submissive aren't necessarily submissive in their vanilla lives.
Right.
It's often the opposite. So those that have very demanding or aggressive types of positions, those that tend to have to always be in charge, tend to be submissive in the lifestyle, because it's the only time that they get to take it off.
Correct.
That they get to just not have to be in charge, not have to think all the time. And if they're trusting you or me or someone else to be a dom, to lead them, protect them, to give them guidance, and we're only out for ourselves, or we're narcissists, which is something that I've been seeing a lot of in the lifestyle. Narcissists, or a lot of the fake pimps, because to be honest with you, if you're a pimp, odds are you have some type of narcissistic tendencies. It's in there somewhere within you. And you have these folks that are jumping into the lifestyle and they're getting people to be submissives or slaves for them, and they're ruining these people.
Yeah. I'm glad that we are really bouncing off of each other. We got time, right, videographer?
Hour 7.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right, so you mentioned the word pimp, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to go into, remember I told you there's a second story I would like to tell you, and that coincides with that. Another single lady, this is a tough one. I met her at an event outside of my event, okay? And she was one of those that just got the party popping, you know? And during that event, we did icebreakers, things like that. People tell you about yourself, the whole nine. And she was just cool. Like, she had the energy that every lifestyle is looking for. You know what I mean? No complaints. She came as a couple. So you really didn't think anything of it. We had a great night that night, probably one of the best parties ever that I've been to. And I ended up running into her a few months later. The first thing that broke the ice was, oh yeah, I had just got out of high school.
Oh, wow.
This guy that she was with was like 30 something years old. Like, she had just graduated high school in a swinger party. Now, for people I know at that particular party, the crowd was definitely between 25 and 35. So imagine
Yeah.
The way she carried herself was very mature.
Yeah.
The way she looked was very mature. You get what I'm saying? And you could get caught up. You could catch a case. You get what I'm saying? There are women and men who lie about their age in the lifestyle.
I got a story on that, but go ahead.
You may look old, but you're really young.
Yeah.
You may look young, but you really look good for your age.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you really have to have some conversations, but you really can't have too many conversations in the lifestyle. It's so tricky.
Yeah, because you don't want to give too much of your personal information away.
Right.
So it's hard to really get that, because at the end of the day, we often use aliases here and we go in character. Mm-hmm. It does reveal our true self, but it's our true selves within character.
Okay.
You know what, you can kind of see it as the lifestyle allows us to be enigmas. Mm-hmm. It allows us to be our real selves while in character.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I agree. So this particular situation was kind of similar to what I just said, the prior story. But this one was a little bit different. Now, mind you, she's straight out of high school. I'm meeting her a couple of months later, and it's like, oh, you know, Taz, I didn't know you started events, this, that, and the other. So she begins to come to my events. Now, at this time, she is 18, so you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I normally don't allow people that age in my environment because you're around alcohol. But she really trusted me, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like a big sister type of vibe.
Yeah.
And she says she's not really a swinger, she's a brat.
Okay.
So two different things. And she said if in the event that she wanted to attend events, she'd rather be underneath my supervision and my protection and things like that while she's learning. But again, the way we met each other, it ain't really I'm teaching you much. You already, you know what I'm saying? You already in here.
She's your old pro.
Yeah, so over time, she's telling me all these lifestyle stories. She likes to be cream pied. She likes to be, I'm talking about this girl had more belts around her waist than some of us, you know, as older people. You get what I'm saying? But to each his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one day, I get a phone call, and it's like, I can't stand my mother. Like,
wow.
She's kicking me out the house.
Wow.
All this types of stuff, right? So she's like, hey, can I just not necessarily stay with you, but do you mind if I just keep a few things at your house, you know? And, you know, I'll still be, because she was a stripper. She was a dancer or whatever.
Wow.
And she, you know, I really helped her out with just kind of figuring it out, you know what I mean? And we had become so close and bonded. Like, she's like, I don't have any sisters in real life. So she's like the sister I never had. You know what I mean? So we bonded really, really quick, really fast. I've had some of the best moments with her. Laughing moments, lifestyle moments, the whole nine. She's helped me with events. You know, I don't have anything bad to say about her. I learned how to keep my composure, right? So fast forward, she ended up being very, very depressed. She got into a domestic issue with her ex-boyfriend, kind of did some things to her, the whole nine, kind of been, you know, in and out of the psych ward, all this stuff. She was a version of herself that I wasn't familiar with, but obviously she was going through something, you know? But as I got a hold of her and she began to explain why she was really out of the house, it was more she had a loving mother. The mother that wanted her household respected. You can't come into my house all hours of the night. You can't bring dudes into my house. You get what I'm saying? You can't, you got to keep your stuff clean. It was a rebellious teenager. Then I said, dang, here I go. I'm getting caught up again. You know what I mean? But it was hard to detach from that because she was actually somebody that I was like, she's perfect. You know, she's going to be great. She's going to succeed. She has a great head on her shoulder, but there's something about the lifestyle and sex addiction. She really had it, you know, had it so much to the point it was driving her psycho. So much to the point where she would let every guy hit it raw. Every guy cream pie her. Every guy, you know what I mean? And then we lost contact for a while because come to find out she was, you know, committed. And she came back, well, I thought in a better state of mind. But she actually came back worse.
Oh, wow.
And then one day I was having an event, and next thing you know, I'm having somebody drop their bags off in the middle of my party. Like luggage in the middle of my party. And then got a dude following behind them. I'm like, what's up? They're like, oh, no. So right then and there, I'm like, oh, no, stop. This is my business. This is my brand. This is my, my sanctuary. There's other people here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This young lady calls me all types of B's and bitches in front of the guests, all type, and then says they're drunk, the whole nine. It just became a sad story after helping that person. You get what I'm saying? I was really a big sister.
Yeah.
So that was the last time I seen her, right? And then over time, over a course of a few months, I started getting all this hate on the internet, all these he said, she says. Come to find out, she said that she went and told other hosts that I sniffed coke.
Wow.
She went and told other hosts that I was pimping her out, when all reality, she said, I only want to attend your events because you're the one I trust, the whole nine. You get what I'm saying? She slandered me. She defamed me, and other people who never had a bad experience with me. You get what I'm saying? As a host, I'm a loving host, a very, very loving host, a nurturing host. I don't clash with anybody. I welcome everyone. You know what I mean? These hosts never picked up the phone, even though I've attended their events and shown them love. They never once said, hey, Taz, what's the deal? I got this girl coming to my parties talking, shit about you. They never communicated with me. They all went into the internet. Don't support this business. Don't support this host. Don't support this. And that's when it took a mental toll on me.
Yeah.
And that's when, honestly, depression kicked in, anxiety kicked in, and suicide kicked in. Because you don't want to be a person that is not only helping yourself, but helping others. You get what I'm saying? You're not going out there. You're not in people's business. They're in your business. You get what I'm saying? The he said, she said, all that stuff. And when somebody starts taking dollars out of your pockets, or attempts to take dollars out of your pocket where that support your family, keeps your roof over your head, defames your character, all these things, that is a huge, huge problem. So that's a story that I wanted to share. And that leads me to the last thing that I want to wrap it up about. Suicide and suicide ideations are very, very real. When you get to a point where your plate is full already in your personal life, and then you have the lifestyle in conjunction with it, the people in the lifestyle don't really know you like that, but they're trying to get to know you. And me, my energy is consistent. How I am outside the lifestyle is how I am inside the lifestyle. But what I realized is that people started going and believing a lot of the things that was being said without coming to me and getting the full story. And I, at some point in time, thought to take my life inside the lifestyle. And although I'm still here to tell my story, and that is because willpower is a very, very important thing. And that is that's the welding to all of these situations. Regardless of what you're going through, your willpower should always overpower your thoughts. You get what I'm saying? The negative thoughts. Never let them consume you, whether you believe in the devil or not. For me, I felt like the more good you do, the more you love, the more you help, the more you try to stay on the straight and narrow, you get attacked. And it's up to you to understand that this is only a test. It's only a test. And again, I said in the beginning that the lifestyle saved my life, because my community is a loving community. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
And I said, for people to say, hey, Taz, don't do it. We need you. We appreciate what you're doing. We don't want to see you go. You bring a lot of energy.
You do.
That's cool and well, but if I don't expect anybody to defend me on anything, but don't give me my flowers when I'm ready to go. Give me my flowers when I'm here. And that's one of the most important things I want to, tell the people. You guys don't give enough flowers. Give the flowers while people are here. And those flowers are thank you. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need anything, you need help, just call them to check up on you. You know, don't be like, oh, people call me all the time, or I check up on people all the time. I do wellness checks, call people all the time, see how they're doing. My phone don't ring with, hey Taz, how you doing today? You know, just checking up on you. No, and I think I had a conversation with one of the group chat that I have. What about the host? What about the people that's creating these great experiences for you? Yeah. You don't understand the RSVP process. You don't understand the spirits that they got to encounter. You don't understand the controlled environment that they have to, you know, uphold. You don't understand the customer service. Half of these hosts want to punch these guests in the face. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they don't. It's a certain, you know, there's a reason why managers are managers and the workers are the workers. Yeah. Everybody wants to be the manager, but when you get the workload of the manager, then it's like, oh, I didn't sign up for this. You know what I'm saying? I signed up for it. You know, and that's why I have the podcast. That's why I don't overly sexualize. You don't see me on my podcast with my titties hanging out and all that stuff. I don't over sexualize it because I'm here to educate. I'm here to inform individuals, and I'm trying to let people know it's not about just the fantasies and the fetishes. There are a lot of fears in the lifestyle. People are scared. You know, people are scared, and they're looking for a safe environment, a safe space with like-minded people where they are not judged, where they can be vulnerable, where they can let their guard down and really sit here for years. And that's how you get the real lifestylers. You get what I'm saying?
That's why I hate fake lifestylers so much. If you don't know, that's one thing, but those who try to change it for their own selfish reasons, they don't understand that this is a community. This is a safe space. This is a place where, you know, we can be ourselves. You know, the running joke is, you know, I used to say I play sports, but I'm a black nerd. And
I love that.
And it's cool. And I had to build the community that I wanted to having that. You know, the lifestyle gives us the place for that. You know, I remember when I was a kid and saw Real Sex for the first time. And I said, yo, I want to do that for the rest of my life. And
Taxi Cab Confessions, Spice Channel, Playboy, all that types of stuff.
Yeah, you see those things, you're like, oh, I want to do this. But you come into the lifestyle, now it gives you a way to do it responsibly. It gives you a way to do it to learn other forms of intimacy. Because people think that the lifestyle is strictly about sex. It's not.
It's not.
It's about pleasure, intimacy, and it's about creating a safe space and community for you to be yourself. Unfortunately, the lifestyle is deviating from that because you have a lot of people that are in just to make money
just for events, making money, just to they don't care about the rules. It's just like have a good time for the night. And that's absolutely true. It is segregating the lifestyle like no other.
It is.
You either in it or you're not. And you know, people who are really in the lifestyle, they start to back away, and that's how cliques are formed. And when people say, hey, it's really cliquish in the lifestyle, it's because probably your intentions are not right. They're probably already knowing that you're just here for a good time. There are times when you go to a lifestyle party and people don't play. And some people have a problem with that. Oh, I paid my money and this, that, and the other. You have to learn how to just chill. Learn how to just let people get to know you. Ask people questions about the lifestyle and their lifestyle experience. Maybe the next party, because you were such a stand-up person, showed, you know, integrity and good etiquette, you had a dope personality, that goes a long way. That actually makes people want to play with you, you know? But again, if you're only there for the sake of just having a good fuck time, then it may not work in your favor because you're impatient, you have bad intentions, you're breaking the rules, you don't care to know the rules, and that's the end of that.
And it's sad because I wasn't going to tell the story, but I might as well tell it now, and it ties to mental health. I was at an event one time, and I saw this. Well, I was on the elevator. I went there with two friends of mine. They were a couple, and I run into this young lady on the elevator, and we just kind of just flirting with each other. I'm just jokingly flirting with her because I'm running late to the event. I'd had a long night, so we're just joking and flirting with each other. We realized that we're both going to the same party, which is great.
Yeah.
We go into the party. I'm kind of hanging out with the couple that I knew, you know, speaking to the host, speaking to other people that I know. And something just came over to me, and I just started looking at this young lady. And I saw that she played with one guy, that she played with another guy, that she played with another guy without a condom. And I asked her, how old are you? And I don't know what pushed me to say that, to ask her that. She said, I'm 19. And then I asked her, who hurt you? And most people would say, well, why would you ask that question? But I saw something in her. Mm-hmm. I saw that she wasn't playing because she wanted to. You can see that. She was playing because she felt obligated to, or because she was running from something. And when I asked her, who hurt you? Literally without missing a beat, she said, my father, my brother, and my uncle. She didn't even hesitate. Yeah. And I looked at her and I said, I'm sorry that happened to you. And I gave her this really big hug and she started crying. And I said to her, chasing sex is not going to fill that hole in your heart. Playing as much as possible is not going to fill that hole. It's only going to be temporary. I said, because once you finish and you get that nut, you finish playing, those feelings are still inside of you. I said, don't allow someone to manipulate you, because there was a guy that she was there with. And at the time, I didn't see that he was a pimp. But the longer that I stayed there, I started to see those tendencies. And I saw that he was manipulating and using her. Mm. And before she left, I gave her another hug and I said, don't allow anyone to manipulate you. Don't allow anyone to exploit your emotions. Don't allow anyone to use you or use your negative experiences for their own advantage. She actually gave me her personal number. I never called her. A couple of weeks later on FetLife, I saw that she was on there doing gangbangs for $100 a guy.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, she's 19 years old. She's someone who admitted to me that she's only doing this because she's running from the trauma of her childhood. And she's in this lifestyle and she's being exploited. The one thing that I did recommend to her was to get some therapy, get some help. Because again, this is a temporary fix. Granted, it gives you that instant gratification, which I think that we all love. We all love instant gratification, but there's also long-term ramifications. Yeah. It's very easy to lose yourself. And it's easy to become a different person. And then you'll look around and you'll say, wait, I don't know how to function in the vanilla world anymore. Yeah. I don't know how to function and just have a regular conversation with someone that's not lifestyle. I haven't played in a week. What's wrong with me? I need to go out and go play. It's so easy to come and lose yourself in this world. And if you do, it can be hard to get out.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're around like-minded people.
I agree. Yeah. And that's what I want to wrap up. If you would like to experience a healthy lifestyle experience, then my suggestion would be to only deal with those who are serious about the community, those who are serious about learning the lifestyle, or those who are already here. And that will help you. And I'm not saying you have to be perfect to be in the lifestyle, because we all suffer from some type of trauma or drama or something like that. But when you are, again, with the right like-minded people, you can have open discussions and you'll realize that you're not alone. You know what I mean? And I think that is the real therapy to people's lives, because people when you go through mental health, it's almost like your mind is in a prison. It's in a cage. And you start to feel like you're alone, or feel like no one else is going through it. But in our reality, almost the whole world is going through it, you know? So if you can find the people who are not having identity crisis, but the ones who are actually living their truth, those are the ones that you want to start connecting to, because those are the ones who have been where you are. And now they're like, I don't want to go through this anymore. I'm ready to overcome what my past, and I'm ready to have me a good time. And I'm ready to have me a good time with people who have also overcome their, their past and their trauma. Although we know that it's always going to be something. You just never know with life. But it's nice to, again, this is the definition of having a safe space. You can't have a safe space with people who are not serious about the community. They're gonna manipulate you. They're gonna do whatever they want to you to get, or do whatever they want to get what they want for that particular piece of cake or that moment. But for those who are really in the lifestyle for years and years and years and say, I'm not going nowhere. Get with those. Get with those people.
Or go to LDB events. Just saying, that's
there
an option.
you go.
You can always go to an LDB
There
event.
you go, because I'm going to take care of you, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of you, and I'm going to make sure that you have a safe space. I'm going to make sure that you can open up. I don't rush you. I don't do any of that stuff. People sometimes come, first party, it's not what they expect, and they keep coming back because they're so used to being in a hounding environment, an aggressive environment, and I'm not knocking any hosts. It's just, like you said, some people are out there just for the sake of the dollar. Some people are out there just for the sake of Freakniks, don't want to care, you know, reinforce the rules or whatever else. I have a real controlled environment because it's also my safe space as well. But for a host, I'm also in the lifestyle. This is my lifestyle that I'm living. So I want people to have the same experience. And the purpose of this podcast is obviously to stay educated, stay informed, and not be over-sexualized. Because if I have my titties hanging out right now, I'd be like, I don't want you gawking down here. I want the attention up here. You know? So as if me and Bruce, we just have a great friendship. We met in the lifestyle as well. And as you can see, he's like a brother to me already. So at the end of the day, you know, these are the type of relationships and rapport that you want to develop with men and women. So that way you can start to feel like whatever you need. Don't forget, these people still have vanilla lives. Once they leave the party, when you're homeless, there's people in the lifestyle who do real estate. When you know, need somebody to talk to, there's a therapist inside the lifestyle. There's resources inside the lifestyle. So that's why we can't necessarily, you know, tell you what to do, you know what I mean? But I'm letting you know that if you build your rapports with the right people, and you'll learn that as you get older, it's not what you know, but who you know, that will start to go a long way in your life. And then those pieces or that brick wall will start to fall because now you feel like, okay, somebody's really got my back. Somebody's really genuine, and somebody actually wants to see me alive, well, healthy, and winning.
Yeah. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to mention.
Yes.
There's a group that we forgot to discuss when we talked about people with mental health issues. What about those that are on the spectrum?
Oh, I didn't think about that. I haven't come across the autism yet, but I'm pretty sure you want to go ahead and put something on that.
Because, you know, I actually have my own group, and several of the members that come to my events have autism. And it's something that you wouldn't think of. They're very high functioning, but their kinks are different. A lot of them love impact play, the ones that I've met. A lot of them are into sensory deprivation. A lot of them are into kinks that people don't often speak of liking. And so you have to be mindful of them as well. So sometimes if you're in the lifestyle and you see someone that's, you know, acting a little different, acting a little odd, take into account that there are others in the lifestyle too that are disabled. People kind of joke with me because I actually have played with a couple of disabled women before. Long story, but
I'm guilty. I'm guilty of, you know.
I mean, I had the deaf one.
We saved that for story time.
Yeah, but no. I mean, there are those that do have these sensory deprivation, that have these issues. You know, I used to have one that was one of my regulars, and she appeared on my show numerous times, and she had autism. She was also a psychologist, and she talked about a lot of her mental health issues and how it affected her in the lifestyle. You know, the lifestyle allowed her to just be herself. It allowed her to use her words, to be weird around people and no one to judge her. So take that into account too. You do have people in the lifestyle that do have cognitive issues that are there. So be mindful of them. And if you can, look out for them, because there are those that will try to take advantage of that.
That is awesome information. And I appreciate you for touching base upon that, because we do get caught up in society where we think everybody's normal. And if you are high functioning, you don't think anything of it. And it can become very judgmental. It can be hurtful to somebody, you know. So that's something, thank you for sharing that, because that can be very, very helpful. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. It was a beautiful episode. Again, you know, like, comment, share, subscribe. Please don't just view. Keep up to date with everything. You know, leave questions, comments, all that good stuff. Again, right here. You know where to find me. All right. Bruce, do you have any credentials that you want to share?
Not as of yet. I'm working on a few things. I will be making some announcements soon, but not yet.
Okay. He says stay tuned, because he's going to be coming out as well. All right. So you guys go ahead and have a great evening. Deuces.